different. The reason that this is different today is that while we're going to play FSEconomy, I have leased an airplane in-game. So instead of renting sort of whatever's available, I now will always have a Piper Seneca available. It's a good, relatively inexpensive twin. It has the benefit of, what's the word I'm looking for? It sort of works. It's one of the few airplanes of this size and price where it has the capacity to actually run it at full load. So today we are going to fly in my Piper Seneca, and this is going to be our route. We're going from Halifax County to Wilmington, I think. Yep, Wilmington International in North Carolina. It's not an incredibly well-paying job, but it's not bad, and it'll give us a chance to get used to the new airplane. And the route I want to fly today is, let's see, we're going to fly from, technically here, this is where Wilmington County is, but apparently according to the charts, Halifax, excuse me. Halifax is closed, I guess? I don't know. But that's what that means. That used to be an airport and isn't anymore. But this one is close, and so we'll just plot the route from here. We're going to fly from there down to the New River VOR. And then we're going to head down to the Tar River VOR. And then we're going to have a leisurely jaunt over here to Wilmington International. Should be a nice, easy flight. It shouldn't be too hard to accomplish this. And it'll give us a good chance to float around in our new airplane. So let's go ahead and get this party started. Open FSEconomy. Log in and start our flight. There we go. We have fuel. We have people. Now, what we need is batteries. And you know what else wouldn't be bad? Lights. And there we have gauges, and now we have some light. Good deal. Alright, now, while I'm thinking about it, let me make sure that everything is where I want it. Good. And now we'll begin the process of starting this beast. First things first, push for parking. There we go. Turn on the left and right magnetos. And I'm going to go ahead and start left. Oh yeah, I should probably give it some fuel, right? That's prop. There we go. That's mixture. And clear prop. Alright, one is started. Let's go ahead and turn on that inverter or alternator. And now let's start two. And two is started. Good deal. Go ahead and close our flappy flap. And we're going to want landing lights, nav lights, anti-collision lights, and probably not pitot heat. Alright, throttle back to idle, since we know everything is working. And let's see, the first thing we are going to do is... Did I just kill the engines? Yes, I did. That is really not a good thing, actually. Really not good. One... Start two. Alright, so that means that if we slow to idle, bad things are going to happen. It could just be that the engine's cold, to be fair. Alright, The first VOR we're going to fly to is 115.4. Go ahead and pull this up. VOR 115.4. Flippy floppy. And the second one we're going to fly to is 117.8. Right? And let's see, our first radial is going to be the 048 radial. Good. Not what I want. I want to fly, let's see here, that's 6050048. Perfect. And I think we are otherwise looking okay. My propellers still turning. They appear to be. That's good. Oh wait, no, they're not. I should. What? Yeah, they are. I must have turned the. Okay, yeah, my props are turning. Alright, now we are basically ready to go. Let's see, we'll get our ATIS the cheating way. Oh. Oop. Alright, wind's calm. So I guess we can go wherever we would like. We are gonna go that way. And we're just gonna taxi down to the end of this runway. I really like this plane. It's just cool. Huh, and there appears to be a clipping bug here. Alright. Oh wait, no, that's an actual grass runway. Okay. With, taxi markers in the middle of it. That's actually really interesting. Because I don't think it's supposed to be like that. There we go, back on hard pack. That is sort of the one failing of this airplane, is that it really likes tarmac. But we have, let's see, we are in the right place, we have the right configuration, so let's get to flying. Gear up. Alright. Positive rate. Very positive rate. This thing climbs like a bat out of hell. It's kind of astonishing. Oh, shit. And we are now going to set this to nav mode. That's actually really close to where I wanted to fly. running off of... Yeah, this is running off of that, so... Oh, okay, but it is set up properly. That's good. I get the feeling that I am... Let's see. Yeah, the VORs here are not in the same place as they are in the real world. Okay. Oh wait, where is the VOR? I guess we can cut straight to the 117.8 to Tar River? I'd prefer not to, but I don't think I have a choice. And then this is going to be, let's see, 358. And we are at an appropriate altitude, so I'm going to go ahead and hit altitude hold mode. And now that we are at our cruising altitude, we're going to run this back. Let's see. My tables show 55% power at, let's see, our pressure altitude is about 5,000, so we're going to call it... see here. Manifold pressure we want to set to 26, and our prop RPM we are going to set to 23. There we go. And it is having us fly north, and that's sort of what we want, but not quite. So we're actually going to flippy floppy this. To tell it that we want to fly inbound on this radial, not outbound. And that's my mistake. Is that where we took off from? That is interesting. It's entirely possible that we just fucked this entire thing up. How, you ask? Well, the VORs on my chart don't appear to match the VORs in the game. So right now we are shooting... Come on. I'm shooting Tar River, which is... Okay, no, that makes sense. Maybe we didn't break it. Oh, fucking Jesus. I'm stupid. Ignore me. What happened is I planned my route. Right? This is my route. But I reversed it. So I said I was flying from Wilmington to Halifax, not vice versa. Yeah, that'll do it. Which means now I need to fix that VOR again. Or that radial. So we are... Well, no, that's okay. And then we're gonna go from here to the 199 radial. I believe... No. 175. Shit. I'm really screwing this up today. There we go. Alright, and now y'all get to watch the sunrise for a little bit. Actually, we'll do it from here. And I'll leave you be. Alright, I'm back, and we're going to do a quick DME check to see... No, we can't see the other VOR yet. Oh wait, no, that's not the other VOR. 1 second, nav 2. We want to be... no, this is not nav. Oh wait, yeah, it is. There we go, 115.4. Alright, that's good. We can see it. It's 86 miles away. So we're going to basically do the same thing we're doing for however long it takes us to get there, 36 minutes. So we'll go back to the sunrise. Gentlemen, I'm back, and we're about to hit the VOR that we've been flying towards. We're 5 miles away. From here, we are going to turn to a heading of 204, right there. Once we get to that VOR, and the plan is pretty easy. Basically, we're going to hit the VOR, then we're going to fly down this way to topsail. Once we get over topsail, we're basically going to come directly in, grab this ILS, and land it at Wilmington. So all we're waiting for now is for the stars to align, and that number to reach close to 0. Boop, boop, boop. I idented for the fun. Gear unsafe? What? That's not true. I think they're pulling my leg. Oil pressure is on the high side of good. Cylinder temperature is good. My window is still open. I'll go ahead and close that. And let's see. 1.8. We're real close. In fact, I bet from here we can probably see that's the airport. I think the VOR is pretty close to the airport, although I'm not sure there's a graphical representation in game of every VOR. Alright, and so now we're gonna go ahead and come to my heading. And the other thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and descend. So because we're in altitude hold mode, to descend we can just click and hold the button. Wow, that is much faster than I expected it to be. I'm going to go ahead and throttle back a bit. But I want to come down to about, I think, 2,000 feet. That would actually be incredibly convenient if I was actually flying the plane. Then you just fucking hold the yoke in one hand and push the button with the other. Once we get over this airport, we are going to, you know what, I actually don't know what the next heading we're going to fly is. I probably should look at that. But to do that, I have to take my button off of the, or my finger off of the down button. But I guess I'll do that. We can always descend later. So from here, that's going to be what, like 240? Yeah, we're landing on runway 24, so that makes sense. Our ILS is what, 111.5, I believe. Yep, 111.5. Now, yep, there we go. That should show up as our ILS. Nope, it does not show up as our ILS. That's fine. Shut down the tailwind ILSs. And down we go. I want to get us down to about 2,000 feet. The actual number will be 1,800 feet. And it dawns on me. What is the ATIS down here? ATIS 12110. 12. Come on, stop it.
Wilmington INTL information Zulu. 900 Zulu weather. Sky conditions indefinite scatter. Visibility 10.
Oh, and we are too slow. Nope, nose down. Nose down. What is going on with my trim? What is the one bad thing about this Seneca is that it doesn't understand how trim is supposed to work. Heading, altitude hold, and down. Seven and a half miles. We should be able to see it from here. Still a little bit higher than I want to be. And we're a whole lot faster, but that's a twin for you. Alright, and we are now at 018. There we go. Approach. Local map. We should be, yeah. And now we're going to turn to heading 24. That's a very nose-high attitude. Oh, it thinks it's banking us into the ILS. Okay. What airport are we over? Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and put this back in heading mode. The airport we want is way over there, somewhere. So at 100 knots, we're slow, but we're flying. We're okay, you know. We are right around there. That makes a lot of sense. I kept it on nav 2, which is down here. And so we don't actually see that ILS yet, which is why it was freaking out. I would, however, like to see the airport. It wouldn't hurt my feelings to have, you know, the airport in sight. But isn't that just a fabulous-looking airplane? Tell you what, if I had a spare buttload of money, I would absolutely buy one of these. Of course, if I had a spare buttload of money, I would also finish my private pilot's license. So, you know, I guess 6 of one, half dozen of the other. I like the reflections on the spinner. Now, those aren't live reflections, obviously. This isn't what's underneath us. But it is cool that they added that to it. Of course, they don't follow the ground in a bank, but such is life. Alright, and that's the runway we're going to use, glowing through the fog off in the distance. And I'm going to go ahead and take a sip of my obligatory landing coffee. Wait a second. Wow. My EGT is really hot. Where are my cowl flaps? That is not my cowl flaps. And I don't want to do that. I'm not sure what these buttons do. Whoa, Jesus. What is going on? It doesn't see the ILS. It just decided to bank, or not bank, dive a little bit. That's reasonable. That's not reasonable. Oh, there we go. These are the cowl flaps. Push open. Alright, those are open. Cylinder head temperature is okay. EGT is really high on the right. And not bad on the left. So what do we do to cool that down? You know what? Let's add fuel. I guess it's possible this is just a broken gauge. Because that looks right. That's what I would expect to happen. That could just be a broken gauge. So I do have failures turned on. I did a flight last night with a cockpit filled with smoke. It took me a really long time to figure out what was going on. I thought I was like blacking out or something. Yeah, because if I look at my cylinder head temperatures on both sides, they're okay. I'm definitely doing what I would normally do to cool the engine. There is actually a way to look, and that is equipment failures here. But I'm guessing it's going to say that everything is working. Nope. Right main gear actuator is inoperative. That sucks. My angle of attack heater is broken. That sucks. EGT gauge 1 is broken. Yep. Huh, that's an awful lot of failures, actually. I am quite concerned that when I wonder if maybe it's just the indicator that's broken? I don't know. I don't like that it has my power settings, but not my V-speeds. V-speeds are way more important, or useful. Still no ILS. Let's see.
Wilmington INTL information.
117? Why are they landing on 117? the wind doesn't support a landing on 117. It also doesn't have an ILS, but since we're the only ones here, we're going to request and get the runway I want. And if the ILS doesn't pick up soon, we're going to do it by hand, because that is not terribly hard in this aircraft. I am, however, quite concerned about how much we have broken on the airplane. I still don't see the ILS at all. We'll throw it in heading mode. I really should be doing this by hand, so I'm going to. God, that's loud. I understand why it's loud, but it's loud. What, are my flaps down? How the fuck did my flaps go down? Oh, that makes so much sense. I accidentally scrolled over my, when I was looking for the cowl flaps, I accidentally put the mouse over, my flap knob and scrolled the wheel. That makes sense. I can't decide if it's cool as hell that I'm basically flying through this cloud to go to land at Wilmington, or if it sucks. Not terribly decisive in this case, I guess. I'm gonna go with sucks. So I can barely see the runway through these clouds. Barely. Let's see, 31 feet. So actually, I'm okay. What I'm trying to decide to myself is whether I want to enter the pattern and then land, or if I want to do a straight in. And I guess there's more to that question than just that, because now, even though I shouldn't, I know that I have a gear issue. Although I think it's just with the light. I hope it's just with the light. Alright, gear down. Trim up. Yeah, and the light's out. Okay, that I can handle. Alright, flaps 1. No, that is actually a gear failure. Let's see if we can fix it. Up. Down. Up. Down. I believe this airplane has a manual gear release. Let's take a look. Or I'm actually going to pause it and we're going to look at the manual in a moment. Let's see. Well, I don't know what to do. I'd really like to try to get that gear down. You know what? We're going to go ahead and turn on the autopilot. And we're going to hold this heading and this altitude. I'm going to give it a bit more throttle. And let's see. Emergency procedures. Engine failure, engine failure. Engine fire, engine fire. Let's see, circuit breakers. Circuit breakers look okay. Master switch is still on. Alternators, check. Yep. Navigation lights to extend. Airspeed reduced to 85. Gear selector, gear down. Emergency gear extend knob, pull. That's what I'm looking for and I don't see. Emergency gear extend knob. I feel like it should be that. Emergency gear. That is my emergency gear extend knob. That is what we would be using normally. And it appears we are not going to. Alright, well what I'm going to do is assume that we pulled that and we're going to assume that it worked. Because I really would like to land. Equipment, right mirror, main gear. Always working. Alright, and now we have gear, that's good. We are going a touch on the slow side. I feel like we were a whole lot closer to Wilmington before that. But we are right over it right now. That's actually a real surprise. And if that hadn't worked, I would have just belly landed it. But if I don't have to damage my new airplane, I'm not going to. Alright, and since we weren't really in the pattern, we're also not really going to be quite far enough away from this runway. So instead of flying parallel to it, I'm flying slightly outward from it. Oh, the police. We'll fly up this way just a little bit further. And by a little bit further, I mean like a quarter of a second. Yeah, we need to hurry this turn up. Luckily, it's twins, so we're going fast enough that we don't really have to worry about entering a spin during this. There we go. There's the centerline extension. Flaps 2. They say with this airplane you should be over the fence at 97 knots. Alright, we are lined up. Well, we're almost lined up. We're close-ish to lined up. There we go. I need to trim this up. That's too much up, though. The trim on this is really touchy. I'd like to sort of calm that down a bit. Alright. We're actually quite high, but that's okay. Jeez, it doesn't feel like we're high, does it? The tree right on the end of this runway. There we go, we are on the glide slope. And we are at 80 knots, which is about where we want to be to touch this thing down. And we're descending at 400 feet a minute. This is textbook, other than the fact that we had a broken landing gear not too long ago. Alright. And we'll flare gently. Alright, throttle back. Aerodynamic braking. Not a good job staying on the center line, but I never do a good job staying on the center line in sim, do I? The answer is no. Alright, here we go. Welcome to Wilmington. And I think we're going to go ahead and taxi over to those hangars. We'll boost ourselves up a bit so we can find the taxiway. There we go. Nope. We'll run over this sign, because fuck you sign. And we'll cross this runway without asking, because there are no other planes. And we're actually getting an awful lot of pull to the left, which is kind of weird, but such is life. Go ahead and raise our flaps. And, whoa, that hangar door is open. It's almost like they want us to go there, but we're not gonna. We are gonna go park in front of all of the trucks? Huh, whoever did this did a decent job. And I'm going to assume that these are general aviation hangars over here. Huh. Have I turned into a parking lot for cars? That's sort of what it looks like. You know what, we're gonna park over here by these cars. And we'll stop. Let's go ahead and power off the engines. And we'll go ahead and turn off the master. Set the parking brake. There you go. And I guess we should probably let the passengers out now, right? I'm sure that I would want to. And we'll throw on the static elements. Everybody out. Grab your baggage. Okay, so that was, I guess, a little bit more exciting than I expected it to be. I'm glad that I'm glad that the emergency gear release lever worked. I hope you've enjoyed the flight. You should expect to see more of the Seneca because, like I said, in FSEconomy, I've leased it, so I've got it for a month, and so I'll be flying it a bunch more. If you have any requests for flights, let me know. Because this is a leased airplane, it's going to start at Wilmington, but I can always fly something else somewhere else. So, anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.